Hello, my name is Dieter Hoik, and I'm here today to talk to those of you who are aspiring artists or filmmakers. Even if you're neither of those things, what I have to say might be of value to you. I'd like to thank Gerald Saul for prompting me to write my own personal manifesto and challenging me to come up with something intelligent for once. So, as I said, my name is Dieter. I'm a fifth-year film production major at the University of Regina, and my dreams center around becoming an animator and telling impactful, meaningful stories through my own characters. I began how everybody does. A kid with big dreams and a thirst to become something or someone with work of which I could be proud. As a kid, everything centered around the movies and the potential to create fantastical worlds inhabited by fantastical characters. I grew up using every excuse I had to make film projects, from making gangster videos starring a bunch of 9-year-olds and editing on iMovie, to 12th grade English class, where we had a choice between writing a paper or making a short documentary. I opted for the latter, and I was the only one to do so. My friends up to this point weren't interested in the movies. Instead, they were interested in sciences, maths, and sports. I'm not even sure how I fit in with them. It wasn't until university that I started to feel like my skills and interests were useful and valid. I've made many projects of which I'm proud, and I've tried making projects of each genre. I found myself taken by animation and making drawings move. I danced the Carlton when I made a character blink for the first time. This leads me to experimental film. See, when studying film, you're taught the rules and foundations upon which all popular cinema are based. And once you've spent 3 years of rigorous essay writing, film producing, and receiving constructive criticism, you'll find yourself in experimental film class. Gerald once told me, if you're going to break the rules, at least make sure you know them first. I interpreted this as the essence of experimental film. As students, our job is to experiment. Somebody once told me to dip our toes into the waters of our chosen subject. I've found animation an inherently experimental process. See, animation requires trial and error. There's no way you're going to make a flawless walk cycle on your first go. Similarly, experimental film is trial and error, as are the sciences and mathematics. My introduction to experimental was seeing a roll of 16mm film flashing with practical motion graphics, like scratches on emulsion, burns from chemical reactions, sand, salt, seeds, and plants, or the muted colors of Sharpies. Needless to say, I immediately saw a connection to animation in experimental film, which I try to incorporate in all my experimental projects. I like my work to always exhibit some aspect of the exaggerated playfulness that comes from animation. Similarly, I think experimental is liberating in its inherent playfulness. There's something extremely rewarding in seeing the footprints of one's progress that come from experimental film. In my second year of film, I tried my hand at incorporating digital animation with live-action footage.
Look, it's our old friend Frissy to save the day.
And the result was so-so. Of course, there's no such thing as art without conflict. Be it conflict that fuels or frustrates, it is the artist's curse. I struggle a lot with doubt in my ability to create something beautiful with what I have.
Dude, you've gotta move on.
That's a brilliant idea. Thanks.
As artists, it's easy to compare oneself to those around us. This feeling is enough to discourage us and prompt us to throw in the towel. When I feel this way, I remind myself that I'm my own artist with my own style and skills, and there's no chance that I'll be good at something from the get-go. I think it's important to remember that art comes from iteration and process. Nothing's going to be perfect, but we can at least hope that our art will impact someone in some way. We can overcome our roadblocks, but we can also be certain that they'll never stop coming. We'll always face conflicts, as humans and artists. At present, my creative work centers around trying new techniques and ideas in bite-sized projects. like miniature exercises. I also find creative inspiration in my surrounding environment. As an experimentalist, I'm challenging myself to look at the world differently. For example, a tree could be seen as just simply a tree, or it could be a dormant creature with intelligence rivaling that of a human. And I'm certainly not without my creative blockades and challenges as of now. Some days life kind of gets in the way and blocks off the flow of creativity, like a dam. But then creativity manifests itself like cracks in the dam, making an escape route from reality. To experiment is to venture into the realm of the chaotic, the unknown. In this case, it means to go beyond the limits of one's creative boundaries. And this is my goal for the future, to step out of the comfort zone in hopes of making something new and exciting. Of course, leaving the comfort zone is a challenge in itself. But it's a challenge that I think is necessary if we want to grow creatively. Leaving the comfort zone will surely stir up strong emotions, but those emotions can be turned into even stronger art. Now I leave you with the best advice that I have ever received.
You're going to get rejected. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how successful your last project was. Any of that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how poor you are. You're going to get rejected. And you just have to try again. Experiment and find your own voice. Find your own way of making something. Find new ways that, have fun and experiment.